now? What are you gonna create now?
What I'm creating now?
Yeah. You said you wanted
addition to what I just said?
Well, you're saying I want to keep doing this. I want to.
Yes.
So what would it look like in other areas of your life?
Oh
You might look out there with them because you're sharing with them.
God. Oh, okay, sorry. All right.
I'm training in you being with each other too.
Well, you know, I have that possibility. You know, there's that possibility that I have on my computer that I like all of a sudden love, and that is what I want to be living into every day, every moment.
Possibility of what?
Of being able to provide love and peace and inspiration to everyone I meet. I mean, why not? Why not?
Why not? Come on.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who else? Who else? Who have we heard from? It's not scary, you guys. Who hasn't shared? Teeny boppers yet? Who haven't heard from? Who did the assignment last week? I haven't heard from. I haven't heard from you? Who haven't heard from? Let's see. Nursa, come on up. Do you need translation?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so the question is, Nursa, what opened up for you? Oh, she's speaking to her. She doesn't speak English.
¿Qué se abrió para usted?
So the question is, what opened up for you out of doing the assignment last week?
¿Qué se abrió para usted de hacer la tarea de la semana pasada?
And you were to continue to give up your stories about excellence and deal with only the facts.
Y de seguir dejando ir las historias de la excelencia y quedarte nada más con los hechos. ¿Qué se abrió para usted de la tarea?
Yeah, why don't you guys come to the front? So, you could ask it like this, right? So we all have stories, something that we make up. So something happens, we make something up, and then we either continue to live in that story or we let go of it and create something new and take actions from that new
Las
possibility.
acciones de esa nueva posibilidad.
So what opened up for her?
¿Qué se abrió para usted de hacer la tarea?
Que ya ahora puedo,
Acá.
que ya puedo,
Got it?
que ya puedo comunicarme un poco mejor.
I can communicate better.
Sí, estoy muy contenta porque había cosas que creí que siempre iba a ser una llorona y que siempre tenía que estar llorando por todo.
I'm very happy because I thought that I was always going to be a crybaby and I was going to have to be crying about everything.
Sí, estoy más fuerte.
And I'm stronger.
Sí,
So she had a story about herself.
Tenía una historia en sí misma.
sí.
Yeah, so what was the story? She cries a lot or cry baby or
¿Y
what's,
cuál era la historia? Que
what's
usted
kind of
era
conceptual? Like we've seen a baby crying? I want to get it on the court sharing.
Okay. ¿Cómo se ve en la cancha?
No, ya me veo mejor.
Sí, pero ¿cómo era? ¿Cómo era?
¿Cómo era que sucedía? Sí, debido a mi historia, nunca sabía expresarme bien.
Because of my story, I didn't know how to express myself.
Sí, siempre gritaba mucho,
I would yell,
peleaba mucho
I would fight,
y aprendí
and I learned
sí, que esa no es la manera.
that that's not the way.
Sí, y hablé con mi hijo que está aquí
And I spoke with my son, who's here,
y Y yo me sentía admirada de lo que yo le hablaba a él.
And I was impressed of what I was telling him.
Porque y creí que no me estaba poniendo atención.
And I thought he wasn't paying attention to
What
me.
did she tell him?
What did you tell him? ¿Qué le dijo? ¿Qué le dijo? ¿Usted a él?
¿Qué le dije yo a él? Yo le dije que yo lo he hecho muy bien en mi vida, todo con él. Y,
I told him that I had done everything in my life. I've done it right with
Yeah.
him.
y porque él dijo que cuando él cumpliera 18 años, él se iba de la casa.
Because he said when he turned 18, he would be home.
¿Ya? Y entonces, para mí era muy difícil pensar de que él se fuera de la casa porque él es un chico muy enfermo.
And it was very hard for me to think that he was going to leave because he's sick.
Entonces, pero aprendí de que él no es mío,
But
que es
then
de
I
la
learned
vida.
that he's not mine. He has his own life.
Y le dije si se quería ir, que tenía mi apoyo, que se podía ir.
And I said, if you want to leave, you have my support. You can do that.
Sí, que yo me sentía bien.
And I'm okay.
Y dije, yo lo he hecho todo bien, aunque usted me lo reproche siempre y me
Sí.
diga que no.
I've done it right with you, even if you don't recognize it or if you complain about it,
Sí, por todo.
for everything.
Por todo me pelea.
And I fight for everything.
Sí, pero ese día no me
But
peleó.
that day he didn't fight anything.
No me dijo
He
nada.
said nothing.
Y yo volteé a mirar para atrás porque no le gusta hacerse adelante conmigo. Y ahí se puso los iPhones. Y no.
And then I thought, oh, he put on his earphones.
Ya.
And I looked back and no,
Estaba poniéndome
he
atención.
was paying attention.
Y yo estaba más sorprendida y muy feliz.
And I was so surprised and very happy.
Sí, porque es primera vez como que yo creo que primera vez que él me escucha.
Because it's the first time that he
Porque
hears
no
me.
grité,
Because I didn't yell
no peleé
and I didn't fight.
y no me eché culpas, ¿no? Siempre es, ¿por qué no me escucha? ¿Por
And
qué
I
no quiere?
didn't, become, no puedo decir dramática.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any drama.
And
Why
what's,
don't you listen
yeah.
to me?
And what's your experience of yourself now?
¿Y cuál es tu experiencia de ti misma ahora?
No, me siento súper feliz.
Very happy.
Yo me siento muy ya de que
Powerful.
ya. Y la semana antepasada le celebré su cumpleaños.
I celebrated his
Y
birthday
le
the
hablé
week
de
before
con
last.
sus amigos y de mis amigos.
And I spoke
This
in front of
is
his
a
friends
happy
and my
mother.
friends.
Ya. Y
Yeah.
también tuve una llamada a mi madre
And I called my mom,
y pues ella hizo mucho daño, pero pues ella tuvo su historia.
and she made a lot of damage, but she had her own story.
Ya. Y tiene 80 años.
And she's 80.
¿Para qué me voy a poner? ¿Verdad? Eso ya es historia.
And that's all in the past.
Amén. Ya no puedo hacer.
Amen. And there's nothing to do.
You know, this is what it looks like to be free from your constraints.
Eso es lo que se ve estar libre de sus limitaciones.
Sí. Ya.
Así es como se ve.
Sí. Y pues ahora me toca con mi hermana.
Next is my sister.
Come on!
Sí. Sí, porque lo debo de hacer
Because that's nice.
para mí.
For me.
Take
For
it
myself.
on, take it on.
Sí.
Adelante.
Gracias.
Rosie, thank you. All right, who else did the assignment? Who wants to share? I have more people up. There's no right or wrong way of sharing, by the way. Who doesn't want to share? Did you do assignment? Who does not want to share? Only one person? 2 people? 3? So everybody with 4 people want to share? So what's in the space? What has you not share yourself? So we come down. Is it fear? What's there for you? Being judged? What's there? You guys are all looking at the next person. You know, this is right here, this is what stops you in life, you know that? This right here. who you are in the seminar is who you are in your life. This is what you do in your meetings with clients, at school, whatever, with your kids, I don't know, parent-teacher meetings. This is an opportunity, this is a shot for you to go up and have a breakthrough. Who wants a breakthrough? Only like 10%? You guys really came here not to have a breakthrough? No. All right, who did the assignment? Okay, let's see. Let's have TJ come up. Let's have one more person. Did you do the assignment? Did you do it? I'm gonna get you. What about you?
I actually wasn't here last week, but did have the phone call with Heather. She recreated it for me. It was awesome. Very helpful. I know for me, excellence, a lot of it is just based on my performance with work and financial related things. Me and my best friend, we have a business together, and we've had it for like 5 or 6 years, and I think it was about 3 years ago, he actually had to like fire me. He's kind of like this head of the company. I'm more like the creative side of it. He kind of handles all the business structure and the CEO's type stuff. He kind of had to fire me a few years ago because I really wasn't taking it serious. Like I wasn't actually putting forth my best effort into it, wasn't responsible with the priorities and prioritizing the company, handling things on the deadline that we had set apart, being a man of integrity, being a man of authenticity, and holding to my word. And I definitely made that mean the story that, and I created a clearing with him at the forum about it, and you know we cleared that up. But I made that mean for a long time. Like I am not a good employee. I'm not a hard worker. I'm not worthy of a leadership position or a role like that. And about 1.5 years ago, he kind of allowed me to kind of come back on, you know, and start up again. Gave me another opportunity to kind of, what you said, restore integrity. And it's been going good. It's been fine. But even like with this process of understanding excellence and how I perceived it, that I lost excellence because of what happened years ago. Being
Can you
able
guys
to
be quiet back there? It's too loud. Okay, thanks. Go ahead.
being able to move forward with the company, with him as a business partner and as a best friend. You know, I know that there's a lot at stake there on the table when you're doing such good business work with your best friend. It allowed me to understand that excellence can become exactly what I want it to be every single day. It can be a brand new opportunity on the table every day. I can wake up, can see what's on the plate for the business to-dos, and I can say, I choose to kick ass today with what's on the table, and that's me operating in a spirit of excellence with the company every single day and with him, and maintaining integrity at all times.
So I'm trying to get that you like gave up your story,
Mm-hmm.
and you can create anything in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's present. It's what I decided to realize is like stepping. It's kind of what I want to do every day, but it can pertain to the business stuff that I just mentioned, but it can also just be in general. I want to step outside of my future so I can step inside to somebody else's present. That's how I want to approach my life, you know, when it comes to most things. I want to get out of my head with all the nonsense from my future that I worry about, shit that happened. Like, it's going to be 4 months from now, I don't even know if it's going to happen or not. Shit from my past that I have no idea how it affects me still. It still affects me, but it's not. My past is actually my present because it's still there. But I want to step out of that past and out of that future so I can step inside somebody else's present. I don't want my life to just be all about me and my past and my future. I want it to be about other people's present as well and my present, but the present is what's important. So I have the choice of what the present is.
You know, it's so great you shared that because we're going to get into that later on, and you pretty much recreated what we're going to do.
Cool.
Yeah. So I really hear there's a whole new opening.
Yeah.
Opening up for you there.
Been good.
Yeah.
Been awesome.
Totally new actions. New human being right here.
Yeah.
Great, TJ. Thank you. Yes.
What does he mean by other people's present?
So,
Elaborate on.
yeah, no, for sure. Let me give you an example. So on Mondays today, I come here and I assist in the office there with doing the registration fulfillment calls, you know. And I'm understanding that I can't be in two places at once mentally. I can't be with you and your emotions and listening to your heart and your words and hearing your life and your story if I am stuck in my own nonsense. I can't do that. It's not possible. It's literally not mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually possible to be in two places at once in that type of capacity. So in order to actually step into your present, I have to step out of my crap. And I have to put it to the side, and I have to literally surrender it and understand I can't, my purpose and my intention is to be with you, to be present with you, to hear you, to connect with you, to communicate with you effectively and efficiently. And I can't do that if I'm in a second place in my mind. I have to be with you. Can't be with myself and my past or my future. I gotta be present with you. That's what I think.
Thank you. And thanks for clarifying that, TJ. All right, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to share with your partner, okay? With your partner, I want you to share what opened up for you out of doing the assignment, giving up your story, what opened up for you. And for those of you who didn't do the assignment, here's what I want you to do. I want you to share with your partner what opened up for you out of everyone sharing a few minutes ago, okay? So turn to your partner. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes each. Person with the longest hair goes first. Okay, everybody stop. Please stop. And switch. Go ahead and switch 2 more minutes. Please switch. Okay, 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. Okay, start to wrap it up. And acknowledge your partner. Okay, so as I said, every session we have an announcement, right? Oh, let me just stop and make another announcement. For those of you who got in here later, is if you need to use the restroom, don't use the restrooms over here. I want you to use the restrooms over here. So you're gonna walk out of the hallway, go down the hall, and there's restrooms right there. Okay? And if you need some water, then you can go into the office there, and there's a kitchen, and you can get some water in there. Have you got that? Okay, so we're gonna get this thing that's happening out here. It'll be fixed by the time you guys get back to your next session. Okay? All right, awesome. All right, so tonight's announcement. So I'm going to speak with you about, an extraordinary program called the Introduction Leaders Program. How many of you have heard of that? The Introduction Leaders Program? Okay. So the Introduction Leaders Program is the launching point for every seminar leader, every communications course leader, every Landmark Forum leader. Do you guys remember your Landmark Forum leader? Who was your Landmark Forum leader? Barry. A lot of you had Barry. Anybody else? Who? Jeep?
Jeep, yeah.
Okay.
You know, Jeep.
Probably in training, wasn't she?
Maybe she's like very short.
I think she was in training, yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Udi? Kristen? Okay. Naveed? Mine was Ria. She was from the Netherlands. Yeah, so just like them, they sat in a seminar just like this. And wondering whether or not they should even listen to the opportunity of the Introduction Leaders Program. So for me, I'm super glad I did the ILP. Because the transformation it caused for me is unforgettable. So I don't know if I've shared this with you guys before, but the second weekend I was coming back from our training, there's 4 training weekends. Okay, the first one is in I think Fort Lauderdale. The second and third are in Atlanta or Houston, and the fourth one is in Fort Lauderdale. Then we were coming back from the second weekend, and I was on a bus coming back from the airport. And at the time, I was wearing similar clothes like this, and I was carrying a purse. And I was sitting on the bus, and there was this woman who was sitting there, and I remember looking at her going, "Huh, that's a full-grown woman there." And does she even question that she's a woman? Does she even, she looks confident? I used to think those things. And I got the confidence. I walked over to her and I sat down with her. And I just started talking to her. And it was the first time I allowed myself to be a confident woman, for being a woman. So having a view of myself as like a child or not good enough or I'll never be mature. It's where I sort of grew up and came into my own in that moment. And it was because of my participation in the Introduction Leaders Program. And so that never would have come up for me had I not done that. And there's a couple of reasons, why that I did the Introduction Leaders Program. And I want to share a couple with you of why, there's an orientation that we're having at the end of the week. I want to share with you an invitation to coming, right? So the first reason is that this program is going to train you to be a leader. And there's a way in life to listen. There's a way to speak, right? And, you gotta really get people's communication, you gotta listen a certain way, you gotta speak a certain way. And how many of you want to get trained and developed in interleading your listening and speaking and communication and all that? Right? Yeah. So in this course, you're gonna get trained how to do that. And you're gonna get trained to hear things you've never heard before. There's different levels of listening. There's like 3 or 4 different levels of listening. And you're gonna get trained in the course to listen that way. And to speak in a way that makes a difference and not from what you know. And we call that being a leader of this work. Now, whether you ever become a leader of this work or not, it's going to have you become a leader in your life. It's a leader in your relationships, your place of business, with your friends and family, and in everyday moments. On the bus, I actually started talking to people. I didn't talk to people at all before this course. I was really a loner. I call myself a loner. I didn't talk to anybody. And I started talking to everybody in the course. I would go meet someone at a meeting for engineering. And before, there was a city inspector coming to inspect the water lines, and I wouldn't care about people. I didn't want to talk to them. I would just sign the paper and leave. I don't care about you. I gotta go. In this course, I got present people. I'm like, wow, their humanity, anything that they're dealing with, what do they like, what's important to them. And I would go up to the same contractor that I had ignored a couple weeks before, and just sat down with them one day on the edge of the truck while we were doing the fire hydrant test. Started talking to them like, hey, how many kids do you have? That was a big deal for me. It was a big deal for me to open up and start asking someone about themselves and to not get anything out of it. And he just lit up. And I spent 7 months in this program doing that. And the transformation it's caused for me is huge. And not only for me, but other people, right? Oh, how many of you are coffee drinkers? Colombian coffee? Some of you guys are laughing. Starbucks? Einstein's? He's raising his hand. How about over here? This side's winning. Tea? Tea? Okay, how many of you are tea drinkers? Okay, I can't forget the tea. Yeah. Well, you guys know those really fancy coffee houses, right? Yeah, they serve lattes and cappuccinos, Americanos, all that stuff. And we spend $6 on average maybe? 3 to 5 to 6 to 7, $8 on a cup of coffee. That we love it, right?
Say the average American spends about $1,000 a year on coffee.
Yeah, I believe it. So, I totally believe that. Now, I happen to know a manager at one of these coffee shops, and we want to know what his biggest concern is. If you thought it was about memorizing, making the drinks and all that, that's not what his biggest concern is. His biggest concern is having his employees go over and speak with and talk to the customers. They don't want to talk to them, or they're too scared to talk to them, or whatever. There's some constraint there, And here's what's there, right? Why don't people talk to people? Real quick. Fear of judgment? Rejection? Shy? Which is a story, but that's... I'm glad you said that. No, you're not shy, George. So, look, it's intrusive, because it's intrusive. We have a story called intrusive. It's vulnerable, it's scary. Human beings have that, right? So for me, a breakthrough that I had expressing myself in the Introduction Leaders program was, I used to just participate in my engineering company only. I didn't do any extracurricular activities. So in the Introduction Leaders program, I got how big of a person I was. It's like, why don't I make a difference in the world and not just, at my company? So I signed myself up for the Engineers Without Borders. Do you guys know what that is? Doctors Without Borders, Engineers Without Borders. Anybody not know what that is?
Are they like the guys that build bridges for communities that don't have resources?
Yeah, water, all civil engineering. It's like, I'll share a little bit more, but so there's this village in Honduras, and they need water. It was not being treated, and the village was getting sick and all that. And I thought, well, I was, this is a little, I was actually scared to do it. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to put my I don't know how to, I have the skills for it. I gotta go talk to other people in the community, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I decided to call the person, called Engineers Without Borders, got the local chapter guy, got on the call, went on the first conference call ever with the Southeast region. And I was like so excited about it, and I participated. And I asked them, I said, please send me the plans that you're working on. So they sent me the plans, it was all in Spanish, I had to get them translated. And then I wrote a water program, a water report. I went to a meeting down in Miami, met them all, told them what my skills were, and then I helped write a water distribution report and gave it to them to help the people and the people in Honduras. So I never, ever would have been someone that would have done something like that had I not done this program. I really got my self-expression in a community where it can empower me to do that. Thank you. Sometimes doctors can save lives like that, and I think engineers can save lives too, you know? Yeah. Well, I actually haven't been over there because that's something I'm gonna still create. I'll tell you why later. But I mean, there's security parameters and other stuff going on. Okay. So the other things, there's a couple other reasons I shared. Okay, the byproducts of this program are extraordinary. You get to be organized. I know some of you guys are pack rats. Who are the pack rats in here? Pack rat? What's a pack rat? Yeah, pack rat is like you got a bunch of stuff everywhere. You got to, okay. Yeah. How many of you issues managing your time? Amy's like, I'm there, right? How many of you want to be more attractive? Right? Okay. So I want to share with you there's been thousands of people surveyed who've done this program. And here's what they say. 81% are now in the relationship of their dreams or experienced a major breakthrough in intimate relationships. 65% received a raise, a promotion, or started a new career since the program started. 80% had an important person in their life, their mother, their father, their sibling, their child, or significant other, registered for or complete the landmark form. 37% have produced projects that have received public recognition in the media or by a civic leader or ceremony. And 94%